Hey guys, how are we doing? It's me, Hope. I'm back. Hopefully you've checked out the other video. That's going to be a new series. Just wanted to touch up on it. No legendaries required. I'm going to go through certain aspects of the game and show you that you don't need legendaries to do stuff. Honestly, rares and some epics will get you through almost all the game, okay? So, Ash did a video today with Cirilla. And I just kind of want to cover that real quick in a, a too long didn't watch kind of video. You can watch mine. It'll be a lot quicker. Shout out to Zhomby for breaking this down in the Sin cluster. He does great work. I came upon this in our main chat. I just copy pasted it essentially and moved it over into Notepad so I could talk about it. But let's kind of get into it. So the too long didn't watch version of what's going on in Raid that's going to be coming up. Okay. They don't want mythical champions to make all progress players have made obsolete over the years, so they are deliberately making them not overpowered. Instead, they want to play with the mechanics, which essentially is the metamorph mechanic. Plarium says, hey, we made this metamorph mechanic, we're going to make a new rarity to play with it, and it's going to be mythic, it's going to be harder to get, should be fun, and that's also why they're not doing a double artifact set for these champions, because they don't want them to be overpowered, because essentially you need to pick one or the other for their forms. Okay. They'll be adding more ways to get champions in the game, these mythical champions. They will add more primal quartz and possibly mythic tomes to Hydra Clash chests, but that's what they're doing. There will be a permanent new fusion in the game, and she said it will be mythic. A lot of people, and she did say in the video that it is not going to be either of the mythic champions that were teased in the Halloween teaser, which is kind of a bummer because I was really hoping to like fuse that angel or that that Japanese arachnid lady. I can't remember what the Jigoromi or something like that. They're pretty cool. Cadaver will be nerfed, tentatively planned for next week, but will be a cap on his A1 at 200,000 additional damage to with the shield. So Cadaver teams are going to die. Essentially, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be no reason to play the team anymore. Hydra Clash matchmaking is being looked at in order to improve it, but nothing has been decided yet. They're looking at adding primal quartz to live arena, possibly to chest in all tiers, which is great. I'd really love that. They will be introducing, I already said that, a permanent mythical fusion. It's going to be like Rhazin. And that's expected next week. And they said it will be hard, a lot harder than it is to get a legendary. Okay. Sigfruend, the mythical champion from Sacred Order, is being looked at. He's not working quite right. He needs a rework in his survivability. New content, which will be bigger than the Doom Tower, is coming out. That is expected to be out by the end of the year, but no promises. They will also include a free mythical in this new content, similar to how Lydia is a reward. It's not Great Void. Okay, because we all looked at the Great Void that's sitting over in the clan boss area. They said it's not that. Their goal was that the Void and Mythical shards should be roughly equal in value, but which provide different champions. Sacred should remain most valuable shards. That is the reasoning why rares are still in the pool for mythics, because they don't want primal shards to outshine their sacreds. Sacreds they want to keep at the peak of what is costly for shards. Okay. Subtext is no intention for void mythic champions in the near future. So I would give it a year, 6 months, though there will be a mythic void. They are increasing the storage for artifacts, accessories, and champions by the end of fall. They're adding 200 slots to each. Okay, which is great. The champion one though is probably going to cost you a bunch of gems. Just a heads up. But the other two are free, I would assume. So that's what the last ones were. Sounds good to me. They're still not happy with how polymorph is working. People still don't like it. I agree. I'm one of those people. More changes will be coming possibly early next year. They may have it proc only once per instance, but that's still being investigated, which would be nice. So I watched Scratch's video on this too. Essentially what they're saying is if you take somebody like Ramanantu and you bring him into live arena and he does his A2 where he hits like, 4 or 5 times and he's splitting debuffs up, currently right now polymorph will proc on each. Okay. How they're going to change it and what they're wanting to change it to, it sounds like, is it only procs once. Okay, so if it doesn't go off on the first one, The whole thing happens, right? He doesn't get polymorph. They're planning to come back to pace of rebalancing several champs per month starting next year. Fortis and Angar among the first planned. Thank the fucking gods. I have both. I was an idiot. I went for Fortis and I went, this man, he's going to be cool. He is a Lovecraftian creature. He's essentially Cthulhu in a Knight's Revenant skin. And I thought, right, this is going to be it. Nope. It turned out that he just fucking sucks. It's honestly because his multipliers do not work as intended when the true fear targets or fear targets are up for his ultimate ability, his secret. So hopefully that's getting changed and they're just making him hit harder anyways. He has a void legendary. They need to stop doing that. And then Angar as well. He's been power crept and he really needs a rework. So I'm actually happy to see that. There's no plan to allow empowerment for epic and rares yet. They said they are talking about it, but there's nothing coming up yet. There, in my opinion, should be no reason that you can't empower rares and epics. Okay, it doesn't do anything but add value to the game and help and make players happier, because you won't be that upset getting a dupe epic or a dupe rare when your faction guardians is full, and you look over at your rares and your epics, and you're like, oh, I can just +1, +2, +3, +4 this guy, and it makes them even better, and it gives a value surge to the epics and rares. But Raid doesn't want it to take away from legendaries. Sad to say, Raid, guess what? That already happens, even with empowered legendaries, right? There's epics that are still better that should honestly still be considered legendaries. Madame Ceres, Miscreated Monster, Frankenstein, right? They're still very good. They came out, I think, the second Halloween or the first Halloween, and they've been OP. They're very good. Clan Wars is on the roadmap. It won't be like CVC. There's no timeline yet. It's in development. It's planned for next year. Essentially, Clan Wars is going to be a social event where it is PvP against clans. So Summoner's War has a thing like this where they have towers, and the clans fill the towers up with 3-man defenses. And you have to fight through the towers as a clan to get rid of those defenses. You get like 30 attacks, I think. I play Summoner's War. I don't participate in that part of the game. I usually stick to Labyrinth and stuff like that. But that'd be cool to see. I'm actually very happy for that. And they're going to add a permanent super raids to dungeons. Thank Christ. This has been another big thing of contention. So raids and super raids. When they came out with Clan Boss and it's the quick raid or the quick fight or whatever, that's amazing. Great. Everybody was so happy because finally, we're going to save some time in this game. But, right, now you have to do Hydra Clash. Now you have to do Phantom Shogun's Grove, Sand Devil's Necropolis, all this other stuff. We can't do that. This is actually what's driving a lot of players away, is the time requirement still to play the game. It is nice that I can wake up in the morning, do my 2 keys, take my shower, go to work. While I'm at work, I can farm dungeons, do whatever, play my other games, Summoner's War, stuff like that, and then come back and do more. But it's still like, I have to make time to do Hydra Clash. I don't want to do time for that. The game shouldn't be this time intensive. It takes up so much of a person's day. It's fucking ridiculous. I honestly think they need to look at where they can save time. And I think they can really do that if they take what they've done to Clan Boss and put that into dungeons. Could you imagine? I want to do 40 runs of Ice Golem. I have the energy, I have the gems to do it. I wish to do it pretty much instantaneously. And then it just goes through and the AI figures out and factors the entire thing, and then boom, right? You're done. You're done. You don't have to keep spending so much time in the game. The tactic, though, is that they want you to spend more time in the game because they know you're going to spend more money, because you're going to get frustrated more easily when you hit snags in the game, right? Or if the game gets boring. I understand both sides, but I am a player like yourself. I don't want to do that, okay? And that's essentially going to be it for everything that Zhomby had put down. Shout out Zhomby, thank you very much. And right in time for my Doom Tower boss runs to be done. And as always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. I do feel like this is a nothing burger of a video, but it essentially breaks down the 20-30 minute video of Ash and Cirilla talking to 12 minutes. So take that as you will. Again, as always, I love you. God bless. Mwah. And goodbye.